Hello there, this is Daniel Franklin talking about my game design level. This is from the game Steampocalypse. This is one of the middle levels where the character is trapped in this shantytown and is trying to escape before the village gets blown up. When I went for the design of this town, I really wanted to do something different than when I had done previous attempts. So I wanted to make it seem a little less like it was just thrown together by with like tin and random stuff. So instead, I went for these houses that looked kind of old. I went for sort of a German mountain town that had been abandoned. Um, I put some weeds around. I probably, if I did this next time, I would probably try and put a little bit more in here, stuff like that. But with my lighting, I wanted to make sure that the buildings were individually lit. I think I did a pretty good job in catching the mood. The first time I did the fog was a little too thick. You couldn't really see much in it. So I toned down on the fog a little bit. Over here, we have the destroyed building, sort of an ominous precursor to the explosion, then smoke coming out. And these are the items that the player is supposed to be picking up. Last time I did it, I just had the green glow, and they didn't really stand out since I am using the same color palette. So with I put some sparkle on it so that they were more easily findable. When you come around, I made sure that the words were a little more as if they were the player's thoughts instead of being as big. I think I did a pretty good job setting up the village. There isn't much I'd rather do with that. Made sure that there was a pedestal this time instead of just you pick up the next item and it randomly something happens. I wanted it to be an interactive item, so I did that. And so now you have to come here, and then the pieces fit in the barrier, and then you walk towards the door, and the door will open. I decided to create more of a sort of like a canyon forest this time instead of an open forest. A waterfall and a river that you have to cross over first before you get to the second river with a broken bridge, sort of creating a continuous thing like this river is coming down. And some rocks, more heavily populated the foliage. And then this is the location where the player puts together the hang glider. Unfortunately, I had some extreme difficulties with the cinematics and could not get them to function properly. But this is the marker showing the player. I wanted an actual location where they would put together the hang glider instead of just putting it together like on this random cliff, because the likelihood of you carrying around the tools to do it. That's why I wanted to have this where there was a table and an actual place where you could put together the hang glider. And then here to help blend so you didn't have the edge of the world effect. That's why I put in the fog also, in addition to creating stuff. If the cinematic were working, then you'd be able to come down here and see and fly down. But here you have the area where it's the beginning of the road. In the distance, you have the road disappearing in the mountains with that gate there. I definitely would spend some more time making sure I truly understood how the cinematics worked on this. But up here, you have your road, the bridge that's built into the road, as if the road just kept going. Up there, you can see the village up there, which is where the end cinematic had the explosion, but once again couldn't get it to work. Ultimately, I think it's a good level. I think that it's believable. I worked really hard to make sure that the scale was working properly, that the textures looked natural. I think the only big problem was those cinematics. But I think I did a pretty good job, and I'm sure it has lots of work to do, but I definitely learned a lot.